Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. I hope that you are ready for another amazing day that is full of nothing but opportunities. And that's what we want to encourage you on today. It's about those opportunities that you don't miss anything that's available to you from the beginning to the end. To those of you that are tuning in for the first time, or maybe you're returning and you're just kind of forgetting what's happening here. My name is Victoria Holland. I am the CEO, founder, and facilitator of Victoria Elevates. And elevated, not tolerated means to rise above anything and everything that has held us down. And this causes us to feel inadequate. But I promise, with you and I together, we rise above all of those things because it's time for us to now be empowered, embraced, and educated to be elevated and not tolerated. So we thank you for joining us this morning. We're coming back. Let me just kind of set the pace for those that have been with me before, and you're like, well, wait a minute. You used to come at a specific time every day. So we're getting back into the scheme of things, if you will. We're doing some testing behind the scenes to see what time we really want to come on. I can tell you that we won't be on at 10 o'clock. Today is just one of those days, just happened to be 10 o'clock because of some other things that we had already scheduled this morning. So we had to kind of remove some things out of the way and renew some other things. But we can guarantee you that it won't be at 10 o'clock because I do have some other things that I schedule at 10 o'clock on a regular basis now. But today I just want to come and we're going to talk. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about some things that maybe can be, should be something that you think about on a daily basis. And so it's Thursdays. So today is, for me, is Take It Back Thursday. I know everybody has their own little catchy phrases of what the day is. Wednesday is hump day for some people. Wednesday for me is walk it out Wednesday. But everybody has their own thing, and that's okay. It's okay to be able to be, universal in some things. And so we all have our own little catchy things, if you want to say that. So mine is today is Take It Back Thursday. We're going to take some things back that we have allowed to, um, overtake us. Even some things that we've given away that we shouldn't have, even some things, right? So today we're going to talk about it because I do believe that it is important for all of us to have that understanding, that clear understanding of what's happening with us in today. And so as we're talking about Taking It Back Thursday, I guess you want to know, well, where did all this come from? Well, one of the ways that it came about is that, we're always talking about, scripture wise, we talk about, taking back what the cankerworm and all of those guys took away from us. Then we talk about it in different psychological standpoints about, regaining some things. As a part of the forum for the positive self-building class, we often talk about going back to the root, right? But when you go back to the root, what happens when you're in the root? Glad you asked, because that is important that you understand what happens in the root is this. It's a part of you regaining who you really are. It's a part of you taking back that surge of energy that you needed, that you may have lost. In the positive self-building class, we talk about looking at the root because it's important to know why you feel the way that you feel and how you got there. So with the positive self-building course, that's one of the things that we talk about. We talk about going back to the root. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming masterclass that's going to be held on October the 30th. It is a virtual event. We're going back out into the private sector, if you will. We'll be going back into facilities. We'll be having some on-site events and those types of things because several people have asked us about it. They said, Miss Victoria, when you're coming back on, out so people can see you, when you're coming back onto the areas that people can come and purchase the ticket and come sit with you. Well, this is an alternative that I'm offering to you so that you don't have to leave your home. All you have to do is just show up. right? And it is virtual. You will get a private link that you can join with us and that you can be a part of. And I don't want you to miss that opportunity. So what I'm talking about is the upcoming event, the masterclass that's going to be held on October the 30th. And we're going to also do an encore presentation that following Saturday, which will be on November the 4th. So we're doing that because we want you to be able to have an opportunity to participate in the event. The event on Monday night, October 30th, is going to be held at 7:30. It's on, like I said, it's a virtual event, so it will be held at 7:30. For those of you that are still working at night, you can plug us in while you're listening, and you can get the information and join us when you have the opportunity. Right. So you're saying, well, how is that going to be? How are you making that possible? Again, this is a virtual event, so it's very possible for you to attend while you're working. I used to work for a company, with several companies, but I used to work for a particular company and I worked at night, right? And so I missed a lot of things that were going on. So it was very helpful to me in my position that I could plug in my earpiece in my ear, in one ear, and I could be still working and be multitasking. We're going to talk about multitasking on a different day. But one of the things I want you to understand is important that, you attend this event. And you're saying, well, what's so important about it? Because I'm going to give out 3 out of 7 keys that I give to my clients and to my students about really elevating and identifying who you are and being able to produce that authentic you. So the thing is, we sometimes have forgotten who we are, right? And we don't know who our true person, who the person on the inside really is. Well, in this masterclass, we're going to be talking about developing that very thing. So let me show you the flyer. So just in case you miss it when you're looking at my page, because I know some of y'all be looking, you might not say nothing until I post something drastic, but this is drastic for your health, for your mental health, for your emotional health. So when you see this flyer, go ahead and register. That's right. That event is coming up. We don't want you to miss it. It's an opportunity for you to join in with us and have some good information to help you move to your next level. And I do say you and I together, we make this happen, right? So let's get into the topic about taking it back. In order to understand how to take something back, you have to understand how you gave it away. Let's just be real. If you gave something away, then it meant that if you want to take something back, you have to understand why you gave it away or why it was taken. And that's the first key in enabling yourself to take it back, right? So when we can talk about taking something back, we have to understand that it is a process. It didn't take you, it took you a process to get to lose something. So it's also going to take you a process in getting it back, right? So the actual composite thinking of what happens when you take something back, right? So let's go to the root. So this is one key. Go to the root of why you gave it away or why it was taken. Right? And some of the reasons that is because you've given access to it. You've given away the access and you gave it to someone or something that really didn't have the proper intentions to use it in the right way. It was a form of manipulation, if you will. And manipulation, any word that you, let me just educate you on wordage, right? Any word that you use can be used as a positive and or negative. It's up to you, right? So sometimes we have allowed ourselves to be manipulated into giving away something, right? And we probably have given away something that is very positive to us. It is something that gives us energy. It's something that gives us power and strength. But at the time, it didn't seem that it was necessary for us to hold on to. So we allow people, places, and things to have it. And as we have journeyed on, we figured out that that was something that we actually really needed to hold on to, right? So that's one way, is when you have to look at why you gave it away or why it was allowed. It was because of the access that you gave to someone else to take it, right? The other thing is you felt inadequate at the time that you had it. You felt inadequate at the time that you had it. So you said, okay, I'm not equipped to handle this. I'm not equipped to do it. Sometimes when you're holding a baby, you know, I go back to when I had my first child. I had some other complications that arose, and I was not able to physically hold my child, right? So I had to allow my mother, God rest her soul, had allowed my mother to take on that role. And she was the nurturer. She was the one that took the baby and held the baby for me. And she would place the baby, my daughter, gently into my arms, into my lap. But I was unable to adequately hold her, right? So sometimes we feel inadequate and we allow someone else to hold on to it. Now, this is the key. I said I allowed my mother, right? That means you allow someone who has good intentions or someone that you know are working in your best interest to hold on to something. But then sometimes it's time for you to say, okay, I can hold my baby. Somebody better catch wind to that, because people you into faith and praise is coming too. Y'all might as well get ready, because that's a message right there. We get into this place where you say, okay, I'm ready now to take back the ownership of it. You know, you were inadequate because of something. You had an ailment, you had a delay. There was something that kept you from holding on to it, right? So this is the thing. Now that you feel that you're adequate, you can handle it. Now you want to receive it back, right? So it's Take It Back Thursday, right? So at the point that I realized that my health was in good condition and that my doctors had released me, I had nurses around the clock coming into our home just to take care of me. So when the nurses started saying, now you can do some things on your own. See, you got to understand, when you get authorization from the right source, then you can move forward to what you really want to accomplish, right? So this is the thing. It's time to take back your baby. Somebody better catch that, because I heard that, guy. I feel like there's another little message that's coming with that. So you got to watch and see when that happens. It's time to take it back, right? Taking back those are a couple of things of why you look at why you gave it away or why it was removed. It was moved by the access that you gave to someone that didn't have good intentions. And then it was also the access that you gave to someone that did have good intentions, right? And so it's time to take it back. One of the other things that when you talk about, why did I give it away, or why did I allow it to not be where it needed to be, is this: could it have been that it really wasn't formulated in the right way? Mm-hmm. Some of us are on this journey of weight watching, weight loss. I don't know how you want to phrase it. I'm in a place where I'm going back to some things that I was taught by my former trainer. I'm going back to some things that I knew before I had a trainer. I'm going back to some things that make perfectly good sense. But you have to go into the process of finding the right ingredients that are good for you, right? For me, there's a mixture of exercise. There's a mixture of eating certain foods. Now, I can't tell you that I have always ate right. I can't, because can I tell you, having a daughter that's a baker, shout out to Christy's baking techniques, but having a daughter who is a full-time baker, in your presence, and you can reach and say, y'all, it's hard sometimes not to not to want to tap into having that quick meal or that quick snack. But sometimes it's about doing what you got to do in order to get it back, right? So for me, having a daughter, hey Mike, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Those that have not reached out to my good friend Mike Watts, I need you to do so. This man prays every day on his podcast. Look, this is a commercial break, y'all. Mike plays on his podcast every day, and he also has amazing guests. If you missed his guest last night, you better go back and check it out, because I'm telling you, it was pretty good, because I've been watching the replay. Mike, thank you so much for taking out your time to join me. He's an amazing young man. So when I tell you that, when we go to talking about taking something back, we have to actually understand the process of it, right? So I just told you one of the first keys is knowing why you gave it away or why it was taken, right? So the second step is to be able to sit down and develop a plan of action. As a certified master life coach, one of the things that I tell you is that we have to set up a plan. There's a plan of action. There's a goal we have to meet in order to get it back. You have to be able to sit down and map out a strategic plan, something that we're going to talk more about on October the 30th if you join us, and again on November the 4th. So this is the thing. If you are ready to receive something back, then you have to have a plan of action so that the same thing that happened does not reoccur. Right. The reason why some of us, and this is me, I like to be transparent. One of the things that I've learned over the years is how to budget. And you say, well, Miss Victoria, how do you budget when you don't have nothing? Exactly. You budget even when you don't have nothing. Can I be honest with you? It is a technique that you have to start putting into place, right? Even if you get $1, how do you separate that $1? You can do it in 4 quarters, and you can do it in so many other different ways. But how do you actually support that actual event of pushing for you to the next level? I can be honest with you. One of the things is sitting down and having a true plan and sticking to it. A lot of time people don't want to stick to it. They want to, play with it. They want to move it around. They want to shuffle the board, but they really don't want to do what is required of them to do in order to make sure that it works for them. Can I be honest? Having a good plan, having a good direction of what you want to do is going to cause you to understand why something is not going to be taken away from you again, why you don't have to worry about taking it back, right? So there is a process. That's called a plan. We sit down and we develop a true plan of how you are able to do some things back, right? And this is the thing. You have to have a unique plan that's going to push you to do the right thing. I don't know about you. I don't know about anyone else. I don't even know who I'm talking to today other than Mike, because Mike's sitting there watching me. I thank you, Mike. But this is the thing. Sometimes you have got to get to the understanding that nothing happens just spontaneously. I have a good friend, and I've told him over the last 2 years that I love spontaneity. I really, really do. When you have developed a plan, though. Let me say that again. The best way to have spontaneity is to be consistent with the plan first. Somebody come and help me with that. Sometimes you got to understand that in order for you to have something that you need to take back, you have to have a consistent plan that it doesn't get taken away again. Spontaneity is great in some areas, but having a plan ain't one of them, my friends. Right? When you sit down and you have a true action plan and you map it out, it may seem that some days that you can't meet the goal, and that's okay, as long as you made the attempt. When you come into the virtual office with me, or either in the actual office with me, you will see on my board that I have in my corner, I have a calendar of events. It's part of my plan. See, the thing is, we want to take something back that we never had a plan to how to keep it and maintain it. Those of you that are out there, those of us that are working with paycheck to paycheck, or some of us are just working from client to client, this is a thing. You have to have in place how that is going to work for you. In order to take something back, you have to have a plan, right? That's what I'm going to get to you. You have to have a plan. The other thing is, when you have a plan in place, you have to prepare yourself to execute it. You have to have a plan to execute it. So what I'm telling you is this: when you are looking at what you have done, right? And I apologize, I'm trying to answer messages and things at the same time. But when you have had, you have taken the time to find out why you let something go. And then you have to understand what the plan is for it. When you are actually have the plan, then you have to move forward to executing the plan. See, a part of what some of us lose is being able to do what you need to do. You're doing things haphazardly, right? You always have to have a wiggle space in your plan. Let me go back to the plan. You always need a wiggle space in your plan. In my calendar of events, matter of fact, a young lady sent me a message this morning, and I said, I can send you to my scheduler, because this is a thing. My time is valuable. How about yours? My time is valuable. How about yours? So and this was way early this morning. First of all, I'm not one of those people. But anywho, you have to apply wiggle time into your schedule, right? But once you have set the plan, once you have the schedule in place, then you have to activate the plan, right? When you go through these processes in your life, you have to be able to activate what you say you're going to do. See, the problem with taking something back is that you have to have a means of activating what you lost. Right? We have to be we have to be at a place where you see some things on a regular basis and you're able to push it on a regular basis. Some of us are having the issue right now that we are not being able to process information and do things that we need to do. You have to learn that in this process that you can take something back that is needed. So once you have developed what you need to do as a plan and you activate it, then the next thing to do is be able to push it. You say activate and push? Yes. Practice, not force, as my good friend Coach K would say. Practicing means you have activated your plan and now you're pushing it just a little bit further. So you can't do it one without the other. How can it be taken back Thursday if you haven't had a plan of action, or how are you going to activate it? Well, my friends, let me tell you, we will be talking more about this in our masterclass that's coming up on October the 30th. We do not want you to miss it. We want you to, hey, Miss Martha, how are you? We don't want you to miss it. We want you to go ahead and schedule your time to be a part of the masterclass on October the 30th. That class is going to be held at 7:30. It is going to be virtual, so that means you don't have to leave the comfort of your home. You can just click the link and get right into it with us. You can actually come back on that following Sunday, which is November the 4th, for the Encore Masterclass. We're doing it in two parts because people sometimes cannot be a part of an event during the week, and we understand that. Right? But we also want to be able to give you what God has given us and appointed us to do. And so he said, you know what? Develop a second class. So it is going to be held on that following Saturday at 12 o'clock. So you don't want to miss the master class. The master class is out there for you to now register for. We don't want you to miss it. Right? This is a master class. It is not, someone asked me the other day, is this the Positive Self-Building course? No, the Positive Self-Building course is 7 strong weeks of being with me 7 strong weeks, be it virtually or be it online, because the class is going to be available online coming January the 1st. But right now, everything is done virtually for you to join in with us. Okay. So when we're going to finish up talking about, taking it back. So you say, okay, we've done the sit down and we've got the plan, and now we're getting ready to activate it. Well, what happens after that? I'm giving you one of the 4. I'm giving you, well, it actually has 7. I'm giving you 4. So if you missed the first 3, you're gonna have to go back and look. The next one that I'm going to give you, the step in taking it back, is maintaining it. Actually, that's one of the last few ones, but maintaining it. Once you have taken something back that you allowed to be taken away from you, or you gave it away, because sometimes you give away stuff, right? Let's be real. I gave away classes long enough. I'm not going to do that no more. I'm going to tell you that. But this is the thing. How many of us have regained something, but we still don't know how to maintain it? You have the plan. You activated it, but you didn't put it in your plan how to maintain it. Well, this is one of the steps that you have to be able to learn. You have to know how and understand the process of maintaining something that you have regained. So we can take it back all day long, Miss Martha. We can take it back all day long, Mike. But this is the true actual fact. And to those of you to watch later, this is something that is truly important. Maintaining something means that you have lost it before, but now you have regained it, and now you got to keep it, right? Check this out. Maintaining it can be one of the hardest parts of taking something back, because in the midst of you regaining it, you got to make sure that you don't lose it again. Because once you lose it the second time, it becomes something that it becomes a habit. Those that have been in my class know I talk about habitual habits. Habits can be good, bad, or indifferent, right? But when you are maintaining something, that means you have got a lock, seal, and key on it. You're not going to give access to someone else to take care of it for you. You're not going to rewrite the plan a million times. You're not going to keep reinventing the wheel. This time, you're going to activate the plan that holds it, right? If you need some help in deciding how to hold it, you can reach me, and I will give you some tidbits of how you can actually know how to maintain what you have already regained, right? Some of us do not always understand that, right? But there is a way for you to regain and maintain. Oh, I feel a part 3 coming. You have to regain and maintain. Regain and maintain. Regain and maintain. See, some of us can get something back, but we don't know how to keep it and stop losing it. Sometimes we lose things over and over again because we're not consistent with how we maintain it, right? When you are securing something, you go back and you recheck some things. Again, these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the masterclass that's going to be held on October the 30th. I want to share some other things that Victoria Elevates is doing now. One of the things is that we're expanding our horizons with Elegant Elevations. We are now Elegant Elevations wedding officiant, but we want to take a couple of seconds just so that we can give you some information so you can be up on what we're doing here, because some people just be watching, they don't never know. But we're going to give you a few moments just to see some other things that we are doing here with Victoria Elevates. Yes, that's right. We have gotten to the point where we feel like it's important that we help other people understand what that process of getting married is all about. And somebody said, well, how can you be a wedding official and you aren't married? Because I am manifesting what I want to happen in my life. How about you? But at the same token, there's some things that I want to make sure that you understand about regaining and maintaining. So we're gonna go deeper into that process at a later date on here on Elevation Moments. And so when I tell you that it's important that you understand how we go to that next level, right? See, this is a thing. You have got to stop living in the dark ages. Stop living in the past. Stop living in those things that you don't even, that you know have nothing to do with what you're going for right now. I'm here to tell you that there's sometimes people say, you can't do it all. Can I be honest with you? Those are the people that have not taken back what they lost, right? I'm here to tell you that you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can make it if you only put your mind to it. Thank you so much, Miss Martha. We appreciate you for always encouraging us, and we thank you so much. It is a journey, but we're going to keep on doing it. When I tell you that it's time for us to keep on regaining, taking back those things that we have lost, it is important that we understand how important it is that we take back the things that we have lost. Good morning, Miss Deborah. When I tell you that when you're taking something back, that means that you have understood the process of losing it. Like we said earlier, that's the first thing, is knowing, getting to the root. Those of you who've been in my class know I talk about it. Getting to the root, finding out what you lost and how you lost it, and what made you think that you could lose it. And then being able to find out who is it was intentional, or was it something that was not planned? Because sometimes you can intentionally plan to give away something. Then the thing is, you got to remember that you gave access to it being removed and taken away. So in order for you to take it back, one of the part of your process is making sure that you don't give access to the wrong people. Because giving the wrong access to the wrong people will cause you to lose something that is valuable to you. And then once you've done that, you have to sit down and have a plan of action so you don't do it again. And then that last note that I gave you today is being able to know how to maintain it once you gain it back. So all of this is a process, right? And we talk more about that in our one-on-one sessions. We're talking about it more and more on our one-on-one coachings, our group coachings that we do. We're talking about some things that's going to empower us and embrace us. It's time for you to be intentional. It's time. It's past time for you to be intentional. Sometimes we just need a push. Sometimes we just need somebody to remind us that who we are is important than what everybody sees. It's time for you to take it back. It's time for you to pull your access back to where it's supposed to be. God gave it to you, so why did you give it away? Let's grab it back. Let's take it back. Let's take back the authority over what God has given us. So we will talk to you on a different day. And in the meantime, if you have not ordered you have not pre-ordered this phenomenal book that's going to be released, you said it, I said it, sooner than you think. All right. So again, if you have not pre-ordered your copy of Stop Walking on Eggshells, It's Time to Break the Silence on People Pleasing, you just might want to grab that copy before October the 27th, because everything changes on my birthday. Did I tell you that it was my birthday on October 27th? Well, it definitely is, in 8 days, and 8 amazing days. So you might want to go out there and pre-order your copy of that book, because it is going live and the price will change. So let me just remind you that, again, we are holding a masterclass on October the 30th. You want to make sure you register for the event. We will put that link into the comment section of this live video today. We will put that link in place so that you'll be able to obtain it. Now, tomorrow, we will be back with Elevation Moments. Again, we will not be here at 10. We will be here promptly at 9:30 on tomorrow. Excuse me, 9 o'clock. I said 9:30, I mean 9 o'clock. We will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for Elevation Moments. And then we will officially announce what time we will be on a regular basis, so that you can go ahead and start plugging that into your calendar devices. But tomorrow we will be back at 9 a.m. to do Elevation Moments. It's only a good 30 minutes of conversation with you and I. You can always ask us questions, but if you need and want those additional opportunities to spend some time with us, we do offer you a 15-minute free consultation with Elevated Not Tolerated Coaching and Motivational Services. And then after that, there is a set price that we will do coaching sessions. So it has been my pleasure yet again to be with you on Elevation Moments. And I want you to always remember that it's time for you to be empowered, embraced, and educated, to be elevated and not tolerated. We'll see you real soon.